Hi.
What do you want?
I want to talk to you.
I don't think we have anything to talk about.
What's wrong?
I don't want to talk about it.
It's what happened at James' party. Frank was a moron. I know how you feel.
Hey, you don't know how I feel. You don't know nothing about me. Your friends are all phonies, man. They're just like you. Up there in your tights, being told what to do. We don't care if we don't step on our right foot. We do what feels good. And we don't do it in the classrooms either. We do it on the streets.
So you're just going to throw the whole contest out the window, huh? You're not even going to give yourself a chance?
We don't need it like you do. They put us on the stage and laugh at us because we don't fit into your world. Because we don't have the right credentials.
You know what your problem is? Your problem is you. You're a quitter.
You think you know it all, Miss Perfect. Well, you don't know how I feel. Or why I do what I do.
Would you just stop holding back? I mean, you're always putting up fronts. Nothing bothers Ozone. Everybody always looks up to Ozone. He knows everything. God forbid he has no doubts or fears. What are you afraid of?
Well, maybe I don't know everything. Like your boyfriend, James.
Would you get off it? James is not my boyfriend. He's my agent, and he's just trying to help us. James is just a friend. I mean, he really believes in us. That's why he got us the studio to rehearse in.
Come on, I want to show you something. I want you to see what real dancing is all about.
I was talking to Wiggly and he was like, "Oh, I can't believe you don't like Death Wish movies," and I do like them.
I love the first one.
Oh well, I like this.
1 through 3 are great.
Yeah,
you know, and
the problem is though, Michael Winner basically went, right, we need to bump up everything in the sequel.
Yeah.
More action, more Bronson, more sexual assault, and like, if anything, that was the thing he turned down. You know?
Do you ever see that movie What's Up Tiger Lily? You know,
I've heard the name.
It's the Woody Allen overdubbing a Japanese Yakuza movie.
No.
And there's this brilliant bit where it just cuts to him halfway through getting interviewed, and it's like, well, I thought it was a wonderful film with loads of, a very poetic film with loads of wonderful rapes and murders, and I just thought that, it needed to be seen by Western audiences, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
and,
well, I suppose. I mean, the thing about, like, I was watching that the Canon
Electric Boogaloo.
No, the Canon like sizzle reel.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
we are dynamite.
Yeah. But it was just it was cool the way they're just like, and that's kind of the thing where it is just all action all the time.
Yeah.
Like, but unfortunately there was just this like weird culture back then that it was just like, okay, well, we need to hit the beats. We need to get sexual assault and action and and just like it's like a tradition, by all means, lads, have the Wicker Man. Just don't fucking burn a cunt in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Canon Films, the home of high-powered, high-voltage motion picture entertainment. With the screen's biggest spectacles, brightest stars, and boldest lineup of explosive entertainment. We're taking motion picture excitement over the edge and your box office over the top. We're Canon Films, and we're dynamite.
I would like to welcome all of our listeners from episode 1 back as we trudge through the deep choice cuts, and there are only choice cuts of the Canon Films canon. And I would be remiss if I didn't start out by introducing my co-host. Now everybody knows who I am. I am Johnny Capcom, But it was brought to my attention by more than a few people that I did not introduce my co-host, who was Sean Sheridan, on the last episode. And as a result, I feel like I've been getting too much unwanted, not even unwanted, but unwarranted praise as a result, as if I did it myself. Yeah. As if you were...
I'm just a figment of your imagination.
You're not even Marty Jannetty. Yeah. You're Leif Cassidy. That's
I'm basically a large teddy bear with a strap on. You're the one doing all the work here.
Yeah. Sadly, even Spud even got credit for your point.
Spud.
I know. Yeah.
God damn. I'm leaving. Fuck this.
And I was just I had to so I had to make a big deal.
Okay.
About the first few minutes of this, so. I mean, were you happy with the first episode?
I was very happy. I really enjoyed it, man. Because this podcast is just an extension of us shite talking anyways. Yeah. So,
but with a format.
But with the format, yeah. And sticking to one subject.
Yeah.
And, and we're not allowed to talk about Honky Tonk Man.
No.
That was one of the ground rules, I think.
I'm chewing myself apart here, not talking about it. I want to, really badly.
We all do. We all do.
But yeah, that was it. Like I had to make sure to introduce you on this one, and it's kind of the second episode is always the kind of difficult one because like you have so much fun doing the first one that you're like and then you just you start going, Jesus, should I got my dick out or something? Is that what I'll make?
We need to top this shit.
Yeah. Maybe we need to play Soggy Biscuit on the air.
No, we're never doing that, sir.
All right, but suit yourself. But no, I would, in all honesty, like to say thank you to everybody who listened to the first episode.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thanks to Wiggly for hosting us on Giant Meatball, and for Scott Meany for hosting us and offering to... He hasn't put it up yet, but he's going to be putting up the Canon on purefiller.com. And
you're awesome, dude.
And we've got that basically there. We're also on SoundCloud, so there's 1,000,001 places to listen to us. Well, there's actually 3. Yeah. But 1,000,001 phones and iPods out there.
Absolutely.
Probably, potentially able to listen to us. Yeah. I mean, there's people who don't care, but fuck them.
Exactly. Fuck those people.
But they'll
never know the joys of Invasion USA.
Yeah, and they don't deserve to.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're not American enough.
Damn right.
We're not even American enough. That was like... criminal.
I felt more American after watching that film, to be honest with you.
I'm not kidding. Alright, I didn't tell you this. I didn't want to upset you, but I did run out and kneecap the Iron Sheik after I finished watching it.
Look at the beard I'm rocking here, sir.
You
think that's an accident? I was clean shaven when that movie started.
It just sprouted.
Yeah,
but like a chia pet.
Yeah, you should see my balls right now.
But just got jeans on them. No, we like the thing with Invasion USA, it was kind of like picking the low-hanging fruit. Yeah. Where it was just like, I mean, we both love action movies and all that kind of stuff, so I kind of felt like we should challenge ourselves with our second episode. Yes. But we'll get to that in a second. The thing is I got to respond to really quickly is I had a lot of people on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean asking to appear on this show, and I'm certainly open, as are you. Absolutely. To having guests on future episodes. But we're still in the honeymoon period here, and we're trying to find our own grooves.
Yeah, I just carried him over the threshold the last episode. I
mean,
come on.
It was.
I got to bed him a few times first. I mean, come on.
It was a happening.
But
no, we would ultimately like to have people on, but at the moment we're just trying to find our own groove, and we will have guests in the future. We talked to a female friend of yours the other night about which tit picture she wants to come on for.
Really?
Do you not remember this?
Oh yes, that's right. But, I'm looking forward to that episode. That is going to be an interesting one because she's a tit movie aficionado.
Yeah. I just remember like you were saying like, oh, you can come on for Emmanuel or something. Yeah. And I turned around and went, I don't know, man, maybe we should pick a different tit picture for us.
And she jumped on that, man.
Yeah. So it was and I had people like, unfortunately our rule is you got to come here to the cat cave to record with us. You got to, because we want to keep the show to always be just like an in-studio gig, like, it's just the way the show feels and will be, like, but anyone's welcome after a certain period of time. And I think with that we should probably move on and get ready to talk about Breakin.
Let's do this.
energy, dancing to the beat with a scratch mix sound that comes from the street. This movie is unique.
You've got the talent. She ain't no street dancer.
So go and tell your peers, the movie you run for is finally here. With action, style, and beautiful girls. People don't procrastinate, see the show, don't hesitate. And see how one young girl contacts the street dance world.
Looking at death, man. Come on, sucker, right now.
She was good.
I'm better.
Who do you think you are anyway, Fred Astaire?
Who?
Don't be mistaken, you've got to see Breakin.
Okay, and we're back. Back to talk about Breakin.
This is a movie I saw when I was about 12, I think. I got it out of the video library back home, and I just thought, I've never watched a musical. I was like, and for some reason, Breakin was the one.
I don't know if this is a musical.
Well, in the music genre, you know what I mean?
I mean, certainly.
Yeah.
It's a music-centric film.
Absolutely.
But, I don't know if it's a musical, and I'll get to why I think it is later on.
Okay.
But,
okay.
I mean, Breakin, I saw this film at the age of 29. There last Wednesday night.
Right.
I'd never seen Breakin before.
Oh, you've never seen it?
No.
Oh.
I think I don't remember it being tossed around as like a video potential rental back in the day, but or ever seen it on TV.
Yeah.
But like, it's not something that would have immediately appealed to me as a kid, because I remember like movies like Footloose and Dirty Dancing and stuff like that. I just remember going, those are for fucking girls, man.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
I'm with you on that one.
And,
I've got two sisters. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, that's a complicated topic for me right now. But no, leave that joke in. But yeah.
I'll tell you this, man. To this day, I remember every last little bit of dialogue from Dirty Dancing.
Isn't it all just Patrick Swayze's fringe?
Pretty much, but like,
and his bulge.
Yeah.
Is that the other? Is like got a bass rumble to it.
Yeah, because my sisters watched that film about as many times as I watched WrestleMania 6, which is saying something now.
A lot of times.
I mean, they went, you know.
I grew.
They were into the Sways, is all I'm saying.
I just said WrestleMania 6 already.
Yeah.
You could have cut a montage of me watching WrestleMania 6 like in Conan the Barbarian, where I just get older and stronger. But the fucking match just stays the same, just Hogan Warrior, you know.
Just have Vince DiCola playing in the background.
Just through the ages, you know. But it was the same, like it's of that time, and it's like this film kind of started a lot of that. Like, I mean, I remember when I started watching this, and Canon have a reputation for being guys who tend to copy popular genres. And But I looked up the times, and Dirty Dancing came out 3 years after.
Yeah, this was one of the few times where Canon was really ahead of the curve.
No, to set the trend.
And from the way I understand it, Breakin was the thing that made the art form of breakdancing. It popularized it in America.
Okay.
It probably would have just died a slow death as a subculture years ago had it not been for that.
Yeah, I mean, I know it definitely was a subculture because a good brother Wiggly told me that he went to see Breakin in the Boyd Theatre.
Really?
In Bethlehem, I believe. And the reason being is that Wiggly himself was a competitive breakdancer back in the day.
Really?
And he will often regale you with the tale of him going to fight or whatever the New York Rumble with the New York City Breakers. And he said, but like that, and that was the thing. Like, it seemed like this film to a lot of Americans, and a lot of Americans I know, like this is a landmark cult.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a huge success for Canon. I mean, for me, like, again, as a kid, I couldn't think of anything I'd want to watch less than this film, you know, because I hated musicals.
Yeah.
And I hated films about dancing, and I hated films about love. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that thing where I don't know what it was about me as a kid. I just hated themes of that.
Yeah.
I was just like, no, I'd rather watch Arnold Schwarzenegger beat a hockey man to death. Like in The Running Man.
I'd rather watch Freddy Krueger slash a bunch of teenagers who are trying to make love, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah, and that's what they get.
Yes, exactly.
You know?
That's what you deserve.
I'm surprised actually there wasn't a bit in the Freddy Krueger movies where there was Freddy sticks his finger up a guy's arse and goes, now this is what I call fingering. But
oh, for a second there, I thought you were going to say, you know, a bit where he hobbles ozone. This is what I call breaking.
That'd work too. If only they did a crossover.
Damn it, Canon, you missed a trick.
But I mean, the thing is, breakdancing in particular. Now you're talking about breakdancing as a phenom here, right? I can't imagine too big of a deal in Ireland.
No, well, maybe over on the East Coast you'd know more about this than I would, but out, you know, on the West Coast of Ireland, breakdancing was never a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was a cultural movement in America.
Yeah,
but you know, that's why breaking didn't have a foothold.
Yeah,
you know, there wasn't. I mean, there was cardboard boxes all over the ground in Wexford, where I'm from.
Yeah.
But that's just because if you look at any video or you know any archive footage of Ireland in the 90s, everything was covered in fucking a thick layer of rubbish.
Yeah,
you know, like it wasn't until the Tidy Towns came along that we all grew a bit of civic pride and realised, oh shit, we're rich now.
Well,
we can't go around fucking with our mullets tied to our t-shirts. Like.
The only time I ever saw like cardboard boxes laid flat on the ground was when I was walking around Galway City and watching homeless people sleep on them. That was it.
Yeah, and I bet they were expensive cardboard boxes as well, because you know Galway ain't a fucking town for no cheapos.
Oh yeah, we've a better class of hobo. We know them by name.
Well, I mean that's the thing. I mean this again, there's no cultural touchstone for this, but I'm sure there are plenty of people in Ireland who probably liked this movie.
Probably.
And, I mean the thing is, my expectations for this movie, I don't know what yours were, but mine were for like a bit of a time capsule almost.
Yeah.
And I honestly expected to really dislike this film. I was just thinking like I'm gonna watch it as almost almost with like a psychotic temperament. You know the way like psychos have no empathy and they just sit there watching someone die and they're like, I wonder why he's upset. You know what I mean? I have expected that to be my take on this, because I was like, I don't like dancing. Well, I mean, no, that's not true. If I'm drunk, I love it.
Oh yeah.
But no, I don't know. I didn't expect to like it at all, and I expected to almost have like an ironic appreciation for it. But I'll. You know, how were you thinking was going to happen?
I went in expecting it to be all the dance movies that came after it. I went in expecting it to be Dirty Dancing, or Save the Last Dance was the one that kept popping up in my head.
I've never seen Save the Last Dance.
You know the one with what's her face, the blondie chick from 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh,
and she learns to dance in the ghetto and all this sort of.
Oh God, Julie Stiles.
Yeah, it's. You know, it does hit a lot of the same beats as Breakin'. So I went in kind of expecting that, you know.
Okay.
And just from watching the trailer, it's like, oh, it's Save the Last Dance, only with an 80s mop on it, you know.
Yeah.
But actually, now that I think about it, I think the reason that breakdancing never became a thing in Ireland is the fact that you can't breakdance drunk.
It's true. I have an uncle who can attest to this.
Really?
Oh, when I was a kid, essentially his one move was the turtle, I guess.
Yeah.
You just spin around on his back.
Yeah.
And then die. But no, it was yeah. I mean, the thing is, dancing on the ground in Ireland, not too big. I mean, this film was known as Breakdance the movie, probably in Europe, Break Street 84, and Rock the Boat in Ireland. The only dancing Irish people did on the floor was Rock the Boat. I don't know if our American listeners or our British listeners or whoever they're listening know about Rock the Boat song.
Oh, the British ones definitely do. I don't know about the Yanks now.
Well,
but,
I mean, it's basically what would happen is, and I remember this is from discos from when I was a child. A bunch of people would line up on the ground, and they'd kind of split their legs open, and everyone would kind of scooch in like balls to bum.
Yeah.
And kind of rock back and forth. it was popularized ironically by the Catholic Church and led to a lot of unplanned pregnancies.
Yeah, and it was sort of like a rowing team motion.
It was like
going
a
on.
rhythmic human centipede setup.
Yeah,
where it was just like to that song "Rock the Boat." I don't. Was "Rock the Boat" a hit? Anyway, was that Dickie Rock or something?
No, that was a disco hit or something.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
well, I mean,
no, I'm sure that one has travelled. I'm sure that wherever you go, there are drunk white people
rocking
the boat to really dodgy 70s disco. I guarantee it.
Well, I'd hope.
Yeah,
I'd hope.
You should see what they do for "Come On, Eileen."
Oh God. Well, I'm sure anybody can see evidence of this at any rest stop or cottage in the land. But anyway, we should probably get into the main discussion of the movie.
Let's do it.
But basically, let's break it to make it.
So I'd like to know where you got the notion. Said I'd like to know where you got the notion. To rock the boat. Don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat. Don't tip the boat over. Rock the boat. Don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat.
Okay, and we're back to talk about Breakin. Okay, first impressions. What were we thinking? What are we thinking?
First impressions. Well, it opens with one of those very much of the 80s, everyone having a really good time montages.
Yeah.
And it just sets the tone for the whole thing, which I think is lovely. We need to bring that back.
Well, I'll tell you something else, right? And this is something that I did. As I said in my introduction, I hope I didn't sound too dour, because at the open we have the spray paint graphics. I was like, holy shit, man, this is like the fucking Turtles movie. Like,
it is, yeah.
That's pretty much what I thought. But oh yeah, it was an opening dance. Like jazz dance. Would that be?
Yeah, there was a bit of jazz dance. There was a bit of there was a bit of the hand break dancing going on.
Yeah, oh yeah, because Turbo and Ozone.
Yeah, but they didn't want to give us the full money shot just yet.
Yeah,
they wanted to save a bit.
And we go from the street stuff though to Kelly, our heroine.
Yeah.
And the heroine of everybody in this movie, because they're all addicted to her. But
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, she's having Kelly is a young jazz dancing woman.
Yeah,
I believe that's modern dance, jazz dance.
Yeah, modern jazz stuff like that.
And anyway, she's having an old jitterbug in her studio, and it's an extended dance sequence is all it is. There's no story to talk about here. But afterwards, we get the first hint of any antagonism as her instructor. What was his name again?
Franco.
Franco comes up to her and goes, "Hey, how'd you like to hang back after class and I could teach you some stuff?"
Yeah.
And that's now. I mean, I wrote down the line here. He should have said, "Maybe you can hang back and my jizz can dance all over your face." But,
come on, Eileen. Oh, I swear on my knees. I'll teach you how to rock the boat, baby.
Yeah, he just had such a scumbag's face on him, though.
And actually, his face is something I want to, for those people who are listening to this podcast who haven't watched the film, the only way I can describe the way Franco looks, take Lance Henriksen, make him less wrinkly and put a neckerchief on him. He's fancy Lance Henriksen.
Fancy Lance?
He's fancy Lance and it's time to dance.
I hope that's a lyric in rapping when we get to that.
It damn well should be. If it isn't, I'm remaking it and putting that in.
Anyway, fancy Lance. But this guy, I'm pretty sure, I haven't IMDb'd him, but I'm pretty sure he played the evil dad in the TV show Harper's Island, which me and one other guy from Wexford watched.
I have never heard of that before in my life.
Sweet. It's like an island murder mystery. And
what? And there's like a different one each episode?
Yeah, do you remember that movie, what was it called? No, it's all the one. It's a serial thing. Do you remember that Irish film with Cillian Murphy where he's playing this... Sorry, I was about to play something there.
Disco Pigs?
No. That's it. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. You know the girl in that?
Yeah.
She's the lead in this
Really?
thing. Yeah. And
Okay.
she's got a cracking American accent. Oh yeah,
okay.
fucking completely convincing. But well, to Irish ears. Anyway.
Yeah.
And well, to be honest with you, when I heard that she was Irish, and more importantly when I heard she was from Cork, I was there going, Jesus Christ, I'm surprised anyone can understand her at all. but anyway, yeah, Franco, to get back on topic,
Yeah.
well, Franco is he's hitting on Kelly, and she's having none of it.
Yeah.
And after she leaves, but she leaves the what you call it, the thing. Now the thing is, we got to talk about Lucinda Dickey, who plays our I was going to say our love interest, but she's our protagonist.
She is the protagonist of this.
But Lucinda Dickey was like a star for a second, I guess, which would be kind of putting it.
She was a solid gold dancer for about 2 seasons before, for 2 seasons of that show before she did this movie. Then she went on to do like, what was it, Ninja 3? And,
she was Ninja 3, yeah, we're definitely going to get to that at some point.
Oh, dear God, I can't wait.
But Ninja 3, The Exorcism.
Yeah, that ninjas and exorcisms in the one movie, together at last.
It was only a matter of time.
It was only a matter of time.
That was William Friedkin's follow-up proposed to Exorcist, you know?
Yeah, and then there was going to be a few dance numbers in the middle.
Yeah, he's finally going to make Dudikoff. But she's a good-looking girl, you know. She's an 80s kind of star.
I've never been as attracted to a woman who was rocking the Irish auntie haircut.
That was exactly what I said. She's an auntie. She got your auntie's haircut. If you want evidence of this, I would advise you to just go back and look at any female contestant from the first 2 series of Winning Streak. And she looks like one.
Yeah, there's a reference that's going to go over well with our
They've got fucking Google, alright?
Okay.
Jesus Christ, that's what Abraham Lincoln died for.
Yeah,
right?
okay, fair enough.
Anyway, yeah, she looks like a Winning Streak contestant. But anyway, but otherwise a good-looking woman, and you can kind of see why they're... Yeah, well, sorry, that sounds terrible. You can see why these guys are macking up on her and making her life hell. No, but you can see why she's a nice girl.
Yeah.
She's talented. She's easy on the eyes.
Yeah.
You know? And
she has a cracking arse.
I didn't notice this until the end of the movie.
How did you not notice this?
I was too busy. I'll tell you why. I was too busy being distracted by Cupcake.
Okay.
And his massive dick, which
okay, this speaks volumes about you,
here's
sir.
The thing, right? Cupcake walks onto the screen, okay, and Cupcake's her friend. Okay, she leaves. She's after getting hit on by Franco. Okay, and I wasn't expecting massive dick in this film. All right, and that's why I was just like, oh my god, here, yo.
Yeah, there was a penile monologue going on.
Oh yeah, but like she comes out of the thing, and Cupcake is her buddy, and they're having a chat and whatever else. And she's all upset because Franco macked on her.
Yeah.
You know? And
as you'd imagine.
Oh yeah, and who would? I mean, he's essentially he's less sympathetic than Jaws. You know, Franco is like.
There are STDs you'd want to keep around longer than this guy.
Yeah, but anyway, she's upset, and Cupcake goes like he's standing there, and I wrote down the thing. I was like, his dick is distracting because it's in this. He's in blue tights.
Yeah,
and I was like. Watching this thing on the cinema screen must have been like seeing the Star Destroyer come in. Like it's too distracting.
Yeah,
like, I mean, a dick is too big when it becomes obscene to the point where you can't notice. Listen, the Dickie's cracking back meat.
Yeah,
right? And, but anyway, we're like Cupcake tries to cheer her up.
Yeah,
brings her street dancing. This is the crux of the movie.
Yeah, this is where we meet Ozone and Turbo.
Yeah, and he brings her to the concentrated center of the 1980s,
Venice Beach.
The only way, like, it's just a bunch of people standing around dancing. But the only way it could have been more 80s is if a Betamax player had been dancing around with them.
And Hulk Hogan was posing in the background.
Yeah, and just like AIDS. You know what I mean? But it was so 80s.
Yeah.
And, they all start dancing, and Cupcake and Lucinda or Kelly.
Yeah.
So
Kelly, yeah.
Yeah, that's her name. And what's called Cupcake and Kelly start dancing, and Ozone and Kelly start dancing, and Ozone kind of is like, oh, I like her.
Yeah.
I don't know who could blame him. She's a good-looking woman
That's
with
true,
a
yeah.
William Street haircut. But I mean, look at one. She's a talented, sensitive, good-looking young woman who's got a future where she might win 10 grand from Mike Murphy.
Yeah, and she's got great things behind her.
Oh yeah. But we're gonna be hit on the MRA forums.
Oh hells yeah!
But,
This is going to go up on our red pill. I guarantee it.
What the? I don't even want to know what that is, and I don't want to be associated with it.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Shout out to my homeboys. I'm kidding. I swear to God, I'm kidding.
All right. Well, we're not reviewing fucking. We're not doing My Little Pony, all right? I'm just letting you know that right now. But no, they're dancing away, and the two of them start dancing. I mean, there's a bit of a trivia piece about this. Dance number.
I only noticed this for like a split second. Apparently, he was, it happened a bit more in the actual scene, but I only saw like 2 frames of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about here.
I'm talking about the muscles from Brussels.
Exactly. Jean-Claude Van Damme is an extra in this movie,
and he is shaking it.
Yeah.
Like the thing is with this film, he was an extra. Canon were the studio that kind of made Van Damme.
Pretty much, yeah.
And basically, this was his like foot in the door.
Yeah, I always thought the story was it was just him sort of showing up on set, trying to get people's attention.
Oh, it was that.
Yeah.
Like, he turned up to catch attention of producers, whatever. But yeah, he's there. He was hustling at this time.
Yeah.
And, he was well away from being in Bloodsport and Kickboxer and stuff like that.
Speaking of Bloodsport, he breaks out some of the exact same moves that he breaks out in Bloodsport in the background of this scene. I don't
Apparently,
know.
he did more flips and stuff like.
No, he was doing that sort of weird hip dance that he was doing in Bloodsport, and there was some fairly obscene thrusting from him.
Oh yeah, I mean it took me a while to notice listening to Dickie's arse.
Yeah,
took him 0.2 seconds.
Oh yeah, he was in there like a shot.
And anyway, they all started having dancing, having a good old time to music that's coming from the heavens.
There was no source of music. This was confusing to me on many different levels.
And it comes up in a big way at the end.
Because every 80s action movie where you see stuff like this, there's always some guy with a boombox or something like that. Or someone's got a record player on batteries or something like that. I don't know what's.
I don't understand. The thing is with this movie, like they're dancing around, they just all start dancing, and then the villains come up, the electro rock, these 2 dudes. I call one of them Baby M Bison.
Yeah,
and this dude with process hair. And
they're two of the least intimidating villains ever.
At this point, I did realize something though. I was like, that Scott Pilgrim is the rock and roll fighting version of this film.
You're at yes. That never occurred to me, but you're onto something there. Yeah,
where it's like it's an action film for all intents and purposes. Like I realized this one. I was like, here's this up and coming young athlete, a sports film / action film.
Yeah,
up and coming young athlete, dancer, action hero, Kelly, right? And she is the best at something, and then for no good reason, a couple of dudes are cunts to her and her friends.
Yeah,
and then they have to montage and fight them, but instead of fighting, they dance.
Yeah,
just dance. And another thing I realized when I was watching this movie was like, these days, these poor fuckers, like talented dancers as they are, would end up dancing for pennies on Saturday night television.
They'd be in like the back of a Nicki Minaj video at absolute best. Or
they'd be getting judged by fucking cunts with Brillo hair.
Yeah.
But it's like, I will say this though, you realise something when you're watching Baby and Bison, that these men and women are indeed dancers, and they are not actors.
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah. I think this is sort of coming through as far as I can tell with Canon. I mean, from their choice of casting, they make action movies, and they get people who can do action.
Yeah.
If they can act, it's a bonus.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Chuck Norris, really tough guy, can do all the action beats fantastically.
Yeah.
Can't act worth a jot. Shabadoo, the guy who plays Ozone, if he ever delivered a line, he probably got arrested. I mean,
he couldn't carry a scene if it had handles on it.
Oh God, no.
I knew I'd get back to Honky Tonk Man.
Violation, motherfucker.
But yeah, they just I have a note here. Just keep dancing, fill up the runtime.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Like they really did have maybe 10 minutes of story.
Yeah,
and then just fucking danced.
Now don't get me wrong. The dancing scenes are fantastic, and the guy who plays Ozone, Adolfo Quinón, he was the guy who choreographed the whole thing. All of these guys were his guys, and he went on to be Madonna's choreographer for like a lot of her like mid to late 80s stuff. You know, the stuff everyone remembers.
Yeah.
You know, he's very, you know, he was like the guy.
Oh, good for him.
In this form of entertainment for a very long time. You know,
is he still going today?
He's going today, but it's more, you know, he's an older man now, so he doesn't do as much personally. He still choreographs and stuff, but you know.
Okay, well, they give her a nickname. They call her Special K.
Yeah.
For her dancing ability and her possible ketamine problem.
Yes, I was just going to say that surely Special K would be a serious disadvantage in the competitive dancing arena.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, take it, Kelly.
Just fucking passing out, being pissed on a dumpster somewhere. But yeah, it's like they become friends essentially.
Yeah.
Apart from Turbo, who's like weird.
I love Turbo in this movie.
Oh look, he's Turbo. I should describe him.
Yeah.
If anybody out there remembers 50 Tyson from the internet, that's what Turbo looks like. But as if he looks like the middle piece of a like, how do I put it? He's like 50 Tyson, and if there's an amalgam of 50 Tyson and Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
That's what this guy looks like.
And no, but it's not his look that I loved about him. Turbo, for at least the first half of the film, had the dancing skills of like a teenage prodigy.
Yeah.
And he's got the personality of a bitter middle-aged Irishman.
Yeah.
Because, you know, anytime someone tries to be happy and cheerful around him, he basically has a look of, fuck off, would you?
Yeah.
And I love that about him.
He'd begrudge someone's success.
Exactly. He begrudges people existence, I think.
He'd be just like, oh man, did you hear Shamey got a handy off some young one up the road there on Saturday night? Like, fucking arsehole probably came in his own trousers or whatever.
Exactly. But that's a cutscene, actually.
Yeah, but no, I get it. They have to have a bit of antagonism in it.
Yeah.
But the problem is none of this really gets in the way of them dancing together.
Yeah.
But
I think their dynamic was that Turbo didn't like Kelly.
Yeah.
But he kind of tolerated her because Ozone liked her and wanted to be up in her.
Haven't we all had to deal with that?
Oh yeah, which made me like Turbo even more because I can relate to that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
We've all been in that situation.
It's Jesus, it's a universal film. After this, Kelly goes back to Franco's place.
Yeah,
I didn't get his surname, but I started calling him Franco Whiteman, just because he's the white villain in this. And
or the man.
But I'll say this. He dances to some pretty fucking boss music.
Yeah.
And he's doing, like, his facial expression doesn't change the whole way. And then he lobs the gob on Kelly, who's having none of it.
Yeah.
Like, this guy, like, at this point I realised this is completely a PG Canon movie.
Yeah.
Because they were like, we have to appeal to children. And I guarantee you there was an extra 5 minutes of scene description in the script that were thankfully excised while chasing a PG-13.
Yeah.
He's probably trying to dance his dick into her hand, but
as we've all tried at teenage discos at some point or another.
All tried to do. That's why anyone starts dancing. Yeah. But Kelly's having none of it, and she's done with Franco at this point. And in the meantime, we get the best PG shit talking scene in the history of cinema.
You take this, man.
Well, basically, they turn up and go, "Hey, I heard your mother's running low on rent this month," or something. Shit like Ozone and Turbo and the Electro Rock guys meet outside after Turbo defies physics with a broom dancing. But,
which is amazing.
Oh yeah, really good dancing, but it's not worth talking about. But basically, these guys come up and they go, "Hey man, you ain't shit," and all that. I don't have direct quotes from it, but it's amazing because they're clearly not allowed to swear.
Yeah,
you know, and I'm just like, teenage boys swear whenever they exhale.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And you can even tell that the actors are stifling it.
Oh, it's the most stunted conversation ever.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost realistic in the fact that it's clearly a bunch of young boys who've got lines ready in their head but are fucking it up when they actually have to say it to the person. You're like, "Hey man, your fucking hair is split crooked." Yeah, and you couldn't dance if you fucking were born in Russia.
Yeah. but here's the bit there. Then is this the bit at the scene at the nightclub? Yeah.
Well, after that comes we get the dance battle.
Yeah. Because there's a bit I want to talk about in that.
Well, there's two moments happen after that. We get just a scene to fill up the runtime where Cupcakes goes to visit the diner Kelly works at.
Yeah.
And he's in his casual gear.
Yeah.
All right. He's not after coming from a dance meeting.
Yeah.
And still wearing the old leggings.
Yeah.
You know, the snake is out of the cage.
You're looking for it at this point, aren't you?
I can't help but look for it. It's like being an astronomer and trying not to see the moon. All right. It's just like, it's there.
Yeah, it's there, and there's no arguing that.
And I'm gonna tell you, he's American made.
Yeah, that is true.
But anyway, that's just to fill up the time. We get on, then we find out Kelly is getting a manager.
Yeah.
And this is when Chris motherfucking McDonald turns up, right?
Shooter motherfucking McGavin.
Yes, the best thing in the only properly funny Chris fucking what's
Adam
his name?
Sandler
Adam
movie.
Sandler comedy movie.
Yeah.
Because Adam Sandler's been in some good movies like Punch Drunk Love and
if you say
but
if you're going to say Spanglish, I would have thrown you out the goddamn window.
And
I
you
swear
would
to
have
God.
been fucking right to do it. But Chris McDonald's there, and like straight away, I'm like, look at him. He's got a sheepskin mullet and his suit. He's going to be a fucking scumbag yuppie.
Yeah,
but never comes.
Yeah, he's absolutely lovely in this movie.
He's a spot on gent.
Yeah, he plays this guy James, and you think, okay, he's a theatrical agent. He's played by Christopher motherfucking McDonald.
Yeah,
he's going to be the shittiest human being ever committed to celluloid.
Yeah,
and he turns out to be a really decent, nice guy who just wants to do the best by the people he's representing,
and puts his professional concerns ahead of his personal concerns.
Exactly, and he puts his career on the line for them later on in the film.
Oh yeah,
you know,
it's tough going for him.
Yeah,
but,
it's the first film where I didn't just like his performance; I genuinely liked him.
Yeah,
you know,
and he's great. Like Chris McDonald, like the two movies that immediately spring to mind are Happy Gilmore, and he's amazing in that movie.
Yeah,
and Wrecking for a Dream, where he's the
we got a winner.
Yeah,
and Dirty Work as well. I don't know if you've seen that.
I haven't. No,
but, check it out.
But no, like really, I really like Chris McDonald. I was happy to see him, and but he meets. Like again, being the nicest guy in the world, he meets Kelly halfway and decides to go to a battle dance with her.
Yeah,
the dance battle between Turbo and Ozone and the Electro Rock.
Yeah,
and this is when one of my heroes turns up, fucking Ice-T in his film debut.
In his film debut, oh, this is so great.
I mean, the thing is, I'm used to Ice as like OG Ice,
or Cop Killer,
body count Ice.
You
know, not I'm Ice-T and I'm a rapping man and I'm gonna be here rapping if I can.
This is the equivalent of Dr. Dre in the full-on Doctor get-up showing up in a movie. You know, back like pre-NWA. Dre.
No, this is the equivalent, right, of Kurt Cobain being in like fucking David Lee Roth gear singing Van Halen songs like in a film 6 years before Nirvana break. You know what I mean? And
or Ozzy Osbourne in the Partridge Family, or
just,
something like that.
It's crazy. And Ice is there. He's the MC for this, and I can't underline how much I fucking love Ice-T.
Yeah.
Body count, one of the best bands in the 90s. Fucking like other movies Ice has been in, big fan of, like New Jack City and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, we'll get to all of that in the future. But Ice is there. They're having a dance battle, and
there's a tremendous bit in this where the Electro crew, they're they're doing their thing, and then Turbo and Ozone Jackie Chan them. They steal both of their jackets. During a dance scene. It's fantastic. But here's the bit. This is the first time where it's like Ice, where the true, as far as I'm concerned, the true villain of the film arrives out of nowhere.
Yeah.
The Electro crew just split out, and in comes angry midget Mercedes Rule. Just out of nowhere. I've never seen an angrier midget in my entire life. Now, she's not even that small. It's just compared to everyone else. She's tiny. And she looks like she'd cut a bitch. She really does.
She's got the crazy eyes.
Yeah, she's got the crazy eyes and the angry mouth,
Well, I wrote here, like, they're supposed to have a 2-on-2 dance battle. And then the Electro Rock win by invoking the Freebird rule. They just...
Bad Street.
We have to have a world-class reference in every episode, I guess. But, they invoke the Freebird rule.
Yeah.
They just, like, undergoing... Like, they agreed to a 2-on-2
Yeah.
street basketball. Sorry, Wiggly, that's one for you. But, no, they agreed to a 2-on-2 combat of dance.
Yeah.
Right? And and next thing they just go, oh no, we've got a ringer here.
Yeah.
And we're going to bring her in to two fucking flurry-dory kicks. Where do you know what she looked like
She's
to me?
getting right up in their faces.
Do you know what she reminded me of? You remember the second girl to turn into a Deadite in Evil Dead? She had the same hair and the same, like...
It could have been the same girl for all we know.
Oh, God.
I didn't IMDb this as thoroughly as I normally do.
She's amazing. She doesn't actually get any story. She's just an electro rock dancer.
Yeah.
And she like the two guys, like the weird thing is I was there going, yeah, but like just because there's more dancers that doesn't mean they were better.
Yeah.
And then they...
But apparently this was enough to swing it for the Electro Rock crew.
Ice-T just decided, he was like, fucking, who's that bitch?
Yeah.
Whatever, let's just do it.
I think she might have intimidated Ice-T. She was that mean.
She had her switch.
Yeah.
But
butterfly knife around him while he was warming up his vocal cords earlier.
But like anyway, the two boys lose, and Kelly's upset, and like Chris McDonald is like, he's whatever. He's just like,
that was fantastic. I love that.
Kelly decides that the guys could win if they had a third member.
Yeah.
And she's there going, how do you fight the Freebirds?
Yeah.
You get fucking Mama Von Erich to whelp out another one. But anyway...
Go on.
But she decides, she just turns up to their fucking shed they live in, at the Turbo and Ozone shed, and Turbo is still having none of it, but Kelly just goes, nah, listen brother, we gotta work this shit, and they agree to tag up.
Yeah, I love the logic of this. It's like, okay, you're two guys, they're two guys, but they got an extra member with the vagina. You need to level this shit out.
She's like, if me and her dance on the same night, our periods might cancel each other out.
This is going on Reddit MRA, isn't
it? Oh man. Moon battle. It's going to get worse in episode 3, don't worry.
Dear God, yes.
But anyway, and look, it's not like we haven't been talking about cocaine stick here.
Yeah.
All right, it's an equal opportunity fucking sexual weirdo podcast.
Yeah, we're sexually insulting pretty much everyone.
Oh yeah, across the board.
Yeah.
But anyway, they dance, they become friends through montage.
Yeah.
To fucking sweet Shaka Khan tune.
Yes.
Like, Ain't Nobody was on my fucking MP3 like within minutes.
This was probably the highlight of the film for me.
Yeah.
Just this montage here, because the three of them, they're rocking this shit. Shaka Khan, Ain't Nobody
Killing
is
it.
a killer tune. This is about as good as the movie gets. It's fucking great.
It's really well cut together. It's just like, it's a fun kind of montage, 80s style of these kids dancing, and you kind of buy them as friends by the end of it in a weird way, like, you know.
Only problem is you sort of lose Angry Turbo at this
You
point.
do. Or Turbo becomes
And he was very entertaining.
However, we gain Angry Ozone.
Yeah.
Because Ozone at this point and James become love rivals.
Yeah.
At this point. Now, see, this is where they like Turbo, I guess he can't be a dick.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have a rest of the film.
Yeah.
But, yeah, anyway, we'll get to this in a second.
Okay. I have some stuff to say about this.
Oh, yeah, but there's another plot point we need to touch on. But they become buddies, they dance around, and then they go to what can only be described as a redneck cafe for lunch.
Yeah.
And I guess because Canon films need to have fight scenes in them, they were just like, yeah, we need to have a fight scene in here. And
yeah, I kept thinking, where the fuck were the Duke boys?
Yeah,
I mean, it just this scene was just completely at odds with the rest of the film, just in terms of tone. Because like Ozone, you know, I think it was Turbo. He somehow manages to start a fight with them in there.
Yeah, he throws a couple of gruel.
Yeah, and he does some of his sick moves, and the guy throws a punch at him and hits the guy behind him. You know, and that's another Freebird spot. There's a lot of Freebirds.
Oh, a lot of Freebirds.
And this kicks
we're
off.
Definitely probably going to have Bad Street USA at the end of this one.
And
too.
this starts a mad big, you know, Dixie brawl in a fucking breakdancing movie.
Set in Los Angeles.
This makes no goddamn sense.
It's fucking awesome.
It's awesome
because they just start breaking tables and punching each other. It's like,
I mean, I've been to some very dodgy pubs. But, you know, massive fights break out kind of slowly.
Yeah.
And there's always some Bureau shouting, "Leave him, Darren, he's not fucking worth it.
Leave it out.
Leave it out."
That's just there, though. I don't think we've got a great point to make on this, because that scene's just there.
Yeah, it's just there. It doesn't do anything.
Have a bit of fun with this, you know?
Yeah, this is just them having a story they can tell later after the film is over, you know?
Well, after this, James agrees to go watch, because James at this point is kind of interested in Kelly.
Yeah.
You know? And he goes and basically watches them dance war against the electro rock, and he shows his approval by assaulting the idea of rhythm, because he just claps. But it's like, you know, we all know what 4/4 timing is or whatever else.
Yeah.
But this is James's idea of clapping for rhythm.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. I loved it. Like,
he is, you know, James is probably the whitest of white men in all of this movie.
He's so white, right? Like, he's almost just like, there's almost clouds of apartheid coming out of him. But they win. They beat the electro rock, I guess because they had a girl, and because Ice-T is a misogynist.
Yes.
And he went, like, Ice was up there rapping away. And I should point out at this point in time, apparently Ice-T hates these movies.
Really?
And even though he went on to be in Breakin 2 and rapping.
Oh, goddamn! I'm disappointed by that.
You know, he's got a reputation to.
Yeah,
to
it does kind of ruin his bad guy image.
Yeah,
you know.
But anyway, like they win this the dance fight against the electro rock. Film over shortly.
Yeah, you know, justice is done.
Yeah,
they've beaten the bad guys. That's it.
No. Basically,
this is just preamble.
Yeah. Like, you're thinking, James decides then, he's like, okay, these guys have got something.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make them into pro dancers. So then we go back to Franco. Right? But
the return of Fancy Lance.
Yeah. But more importantly, well, the way to get to the start of this, okay, the love triangle begins. James is into her, and he keeps on, like, asking her if she wants to go get dinner and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Kelly, obviously. And, you know, she's there going, you know what, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And, Ozone, on the other hand, then is in love with her, right? But never actually bothers to ask her out.
Yeah, and he has more in common They've known each other longer.
Yeah.
He'd have a better shot.
He's got a sweet hat.
Yeah, he looks the business by mid-80s standards.
But here's the thing, man. I was just thinking, man, just fucking ask her out.
Yeah.
She's had like a bunch of dudes like just essentially be a step away from assaulting her.
Yeah.
She'd probably just appreciate it if you just went, hey, you want to get a burger? She'd be like, yes, I do. That's all I've ever wanted from a man. You know what I mean? It's like, why do you think I hang out with fucking cupcakes so much?
Yeah, let's hang out and talk about dancing and watch Fred Astaire movies. Let's do that.
But so anyway, like Ozone doesn't want to like they're invited to a party because James is getting behind them.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'm going to get you guys an audition and all this kind of stuff. And you're thinking, as I remember thinking when the Electro Rock were beaten. And by the way, I want a sick ass Electro Rock jacket.
Yes.
All right. If anyone's out there who's like able to make sweet 80s jackets, we'll send you our measurements.
Wiggly, you gotta know someone. So.
Oh yeah. But we have the two of them. They go like Ozone and Turbo agreed to come to James's party because James genuinely wants to introduce them to people in the dance world.
Yeah.
And because I'm so prejudiced against 80s yuppies,
Yeah.
I was waiting for him to like pull the rug out from underneath
Yeah.
Ozone and just be like, I got you here and I'm a rich white man. Welcome to Caucasia, motherfucker.
Now dance for pennies.
And then like Turbo is just crying and stuff.
Then the cage comes down.
Yeah. But but it never happens.
Yeah.
They go to the party and here's the thing, actually, and this is something I kind of enjoyed about this movie. There was a little like Turbo, obviously, is a young black man.
Yeah.
Ozone is
like early 20s.
no, but Ozone is I'd say Puerto Rican. I think that was his,
half black, half Puerto Rican. It says on his IMDb at least.
But yeah, so like all these rich old white people.
Yeah.
And I was expecting, and again, I'm not saying I don't like Canon movies.
Yeah.
But I was expecting on the nose racism.
Yeah.
Got subtle racism instead.
Mm. Yeah, there was that scene where Turbo was hanging out at the buffet table.
Yeah.
And the two old ladies come over and they just generally have a look about them that says, "Oh, look, a Negro."
Yeah.
And
it's just, but at the same time, they're not mean.
Yeah.
And
they're more getting a kick out of a novelty than anything, which is kind of racist, but not like seriously hateful racist. If you get my point.
Yeah, I'd say though, if Turbo was a few years older and they were a few years younger, they'd be running a train on them. But
who's to say they didn't?
Who knows? But anyway, like
that was probably in the first draft as well.
The love triangle is kicking into high gear at this point. But it becomes almost a love square because, well, if you count that other fucking square of Fancy Lance, fucking, because Franco's at the party and he's there going, "Hey Kelly, I want you to introduce you to my friend who's a shit hot dance instructor." Yeah. He's like, "Oh, I know her," and I'm there going, "Wait a minute, brother, you're the cunt here, okay? I don't know where you're taking the fucking high road from, like
this bitch blue-balled me, something like that."
He's a fucking arsehole. All right,
I fucking hate this guy.
Yeah, and
he's the biggest douche in 80s movies. A fucking genre known for massive douches.
Like he makes Sully look like a nice guy. Sully from Commando.
Yeah,
But anyway, like Ozone comes over and he's just being like, James is there going, "Hey man, meet this guy." Yeah. And Franco's there going, "I know you're nothing but street trash and all this, and you can't dance. I know you can't dance and all this." And you can dance if you want to, but
you can leave your friends behind.
But anyway, he's just having a go, and he's just being a cunt for the sake of it, like. Yeah. And Kelly's having none of it. I guess this is his weird roundabout way of thinking he can get Kelly back. Yeah. But just by being an arsehole. And like at this point, like Ozone's never had a better opportunity to like be a nice guy and like set it on to Kelly, like Yeah. But no, he just disappears and goes to be moody for a few minutes of the film, like and you kind of get the feeling that the band is done. You know? And Kelly decides that she's going to keep the fucking thing together, and she wants to go to this rehearsal, which we're told. After, like, with no great fanfare, that's really important. Yeah. Like, they should have been building this up since the beginning.
They really should.
But they weren't.
And this all feels like about 20 minutes added on for no good reason. Like there was a short run time, and we got to stretch this shit out.
I like the idea of Menachem looking at the script.
Yeah.
And Menachem Golan, the head of Canon Films, and an absolute fucking heroic gentleman.
Absolutely.
But I like the idea of him going, and then they fight the dance guys, and they beat them, and then like made the film, and then went, okay, wait a minute, we can't put out a 50-minute film, so let's just have this other subplot. Like, but Ozone disappears. He doesn't want to dance anymore because he's upset, understandably, by how he was treated at the party and all this kind of stuff. And he wants Kelly, but again, won't bother his whole to do anything about it. But then we get the best scene, not only in this film, but possibly in any film.
Okay,
Right?
go ahead.
Kelly finds Ozone on the beach.
Yeah.
Where he's been missing for a number of days, and I like to think that he's been emoting on this beach for that set amount of days. It's amazing. Ozone is a great dancer and a shit actor.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why this scene is outstanding. He is just sitting on this rock looking at the sea, probably trying to understand why it laps against the land. But he just basically turns around, and with the craziest look in his eyes, they're going, "You don't know me," you know. And he's laying the whole trip on Kelly. He's like, "You're phony, and you're a fake dancer, and you can't dance. You can't dance if you want to. You ain't no friend of mine." All right, and he lays it all on her, and he's just like. She's there going, "Hey man, come on, let's just dance." And he's just there going, "God damn it!" You can see his balls glowing blue, and he's just staring at poor Kelly, like, you know?
And there's that one line in it where he just goes, "You don't know where I'm from."
Yeah, she's like, "I've been to your house."
Yeah, you live there with Turbo.
Yeah, in the shade.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's all right.
We danced to Shaka Khan there.
Yeah,
do you not remember this?
You know, I know you're angry Ozone now, and that was happy Ozone, but I hope it's not like a split personality thing.
The sad thing is, all right, we've had fun talking about the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
But I don't think we can actually do this scene justice by describing it. He's not an actor.
He really isn't.
But he's acting. And that's the best way to describe it.
Dear Lord, he's acting. He's throwing it out there.
It's wonderful. Like, I really genuinely wish the whole world could watch him act. And he doesn't really explain himself. He goes, "You don't know me, you're a phony, you're fake." And then just goes, "If you want to see what it's all about," and then just brings her to watch more dancing.
Yeah.
And by the way, we skipped over a lot of dancing while describing this movie, right?
There's a ton of dancing we could have mentioned but didn't.
The best thing about this one is, though, I'm not sure if you noticed this, there's like all the young hip 80s people and just one dodgy pedo hanging in the background.
Yes.
There's this guy in slacks, a leather jacket, and wearing the most pedo mustache ever. Like, Gary Glitter would look at this guy and go, "That's a bit much."
Yeah.
You know what
Wow.
I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying this guy definitely was a pedophile.
Yeah.
Or whoever he was.
Yeah, there was a bit of Paula Poundstone about him, though.
Oh, he was I'm just saying, he looked like something from a police camera action lineup. Alright?
Yeah, he was just like those big plastic goggle glasses away from like full-on pedophile.
Oh, he was, yeah.
And
he probably founded the darknet. But anyway, like, just show some more dancing, and then they decide, Ozone's like, "I don't want to dance," and then he goes, "I do want to dance."
Let's
on.
dance.
There should have been a moment where he turned to the camera though and went, "I want to dance on Franco's grave."
Yeah.
But he didn't, sadly.
Unfortunately, that would have been fantastic.
They then dance some more to fill up the runtime.
Yeah.
In the studio, and they get sweet jackets.
Yeah.
And,
with T, K, and O. On it.
Turbo, Kelly, and Ozone.
Yeah. Turbo, Special K.
Special K, yeah.
And Ozone. Get it right now.
That's why she's able to afford to live on her own. She's just spinning the air.
She's horsing out, she's literally horsing out ketamine to people.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we also get to see the sickest moonwalk ever in that scene.
Yeah.
Because Chris McDonald does one in his business shoes.
Which, I can't make GIFs.
Yeah.
But I really want to learn just for that.
Yeah.
I want that to be on everything I have to do with social media. That's going to be on it. Christopher motherfucking McDonald moonwalking.
I want to make a GIF of him dancing in a Tron suit like that.
I think that would, that could work. That could work.
There's time.
There's time.
And it's time. But yeah. Anyway, they dance some more. They get ready, and they go to this audition that we've been told for a few seconds is kind of important.
Yeah, it's a make or break thing.
It
that
is,
we
yeah.
just mentioned a minute ago.
Yeah. Did you not know about this? And maybe like this is almost like hipster filmmaking.
Yeah.
I can't believe you haven't heard of this audition.
Oh my god.
What are you, some kind of prick?
Yeah, I know. Can't believe you never heard of breakdancing. Can't believe you never heard of this audition.
Yeah.
No. Neckerchiefs are in, man.
Yeah. And they tux up to go to this audition because they're like, otherwise you're not wearing a tuxedo.
Yeah, and Turbo in a tux on some level is hilarious to me. I don't know what it is.
It's
seeing a cross-eyed dance virtuoso in a tux is fucking phenomenal to me.
Well, the thing is, as I was describing earlier on, I didn't quite notice the full volume of Lucinda Dickey's allure, shall we say. I remember when she walked on stage, and I'm objectifying this woman like I don't even care.
Yeah, she's
like,
an object.
I'm objectifying her like it's 1995.
Oh, hell
yeah. Yeah. Jesus Christ, what an arse on that woman.
Yeah.
Especially, she's wearing
two powdered eggs in a hanky,
she's
sir.
just wearing the right tights in that moment,
Yeah.
man. I was just like, as I said to you, I
Yeah.
was watching this film, I was having a good time,
Yeah.
and I remember just going, well, I didn't expect to have an erection, but I will not turn one down.
Yeah,
It's kind of hard to do that anyway. You know, but
I don't mean to let you in on more than you care to know, but I spotted Lucinda's, attributes in like the first, within the first dance scene. So I was sporting a chub for a good chunk of this movie.
You were tumescent.
I was tumescent for long sections of this film, and then Cupcake was on screen that just fucking confused me.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the thing. We get the we get them dancing, and basically we see Franco's crew dancing first, and they're having. Do you remember when Smithers was like a cowboy dancer in The Simpsons?
Oh, Licorice Whip.
Yeah, that's essentially what they were doing.
It kind of was, yeah.
And like it's him and just some other dudes like rubbing each other's forearms while they danced around each other in neckerchiefs, because that's Franco's gimmick.
There's he's that sort of borderline, kind of gay villain. That only exists in 80s movies.
He's like a precursor to to Silva in Skyfall.
Yeah.
Right down to the way he comes on to Kelly.
That's true. Yeah. Who'd have thought Javier Bardem was watching Breakin to?
Hey man.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody was watching Breakin.
He probably watched Chuck Norris to get down Chigurh as well.
Yeah.
That's neither here nor there.
But we got they like basically the people who the dance how do I put this? The judges who are taking crews for auditioning.
Yeah.
Right? Like they look at Franco's cowboy dance scene and go, yeah, man, that's what we're looking for right now, right? And then the street dancers want to come on, right? But Franco puts a word in, he's like Shawn Michaels. He puts a word in Vince's ear, and he's like, "No, brother, they're too small and they can't work." And basically, the guy goes, "I'm afraid," because he's the English American aristocrat.
Yeah,
dance.
You almost get him. You almost hear him say, "Most irregular," as soon as you see his face.
But there's this man, and he goes, "I'm afraid you cannot dance at my audition," and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And basically, fucking Ozone's having none of it.
Yeah.
And he shows he's having none of it by starting to strip.
Yeah! he just starts ripping the tux off himself. And just strutting around the place. Like.
And this is where the magic music comes from again.
Yeah.
Where like the three of them start doing their fucking sick ass fucking their breakdance routine.
Maybe the judges are going, well, God has clearly put the tunes on, so this is meant to be.
Because out of nowhere, just this fucking really cool 80s rap music starts, and they started breaking to it.
Yeah,
obviously,
of course.
But it's just they're going, lads. There's just one old woman with a piano in the corner playing music. Does she got a turntable under her? Is she scratching on the side?
That's a movie I want to watch, actually, if that's the case.
Oh god,
Pianist by day,
Yeah.
turntable by night.
Fucking hell. Like, it's like I wasn't. You kind of forget it after a minute. And of course, even though these people are probably, I mean, I don't want to say these judges are out and out racists.
Yeah.
But they're probably a little bit racist.
Yeah.
And then like they don't like rap music or rap dancing. And as soon as God starts playing rap music for them, and they start dancing, all of a sudden they're just slaves to the rhythm.
Breakdancing cures racism is the point of this film.
They start dancing, and Franco goes, we can't have this. And this guy, the guy...
And the old guy, the most irregular guy, is like, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah, he starts dancing with his cigar to the music, and basically they win.
Yeah.
They win, and I don't know what kind of fucking play these guys were auditioning for.
Yeah.
Because he said we need jazz dancers, but then we had like country jazz or whatever. But then they... Like we don't get a resolution to the story, I guess, because what happens is, like, you see Franco being a bit upset, and then it just cuts straight away to the play that these guys have won the part from.
Yeah, and they're the stars of this.
They
thing.
are.
Yeah.
But on top of that, I was there going, what kind of play were you thinking about putting on, lads? Because you said you didn't want rap dancers.
Yeah.
And then you did.
But not only that. The Electro Crew and Angry Midget Mercedes Rule are in this fucking play as well.
You bet she is.
Yeah. And I couldn't take my fucking eyes off her.
Oh, yeah.
But
because her eyes, like, she doesn't need to be in high definition for her eyes to reach across the screen.
Yeah, and burn into your goddamn soul.
I'd say she probably just fucking broke a bottle of,
Yeah, I'd say she's
charged turbo and was like, I'll cut your fucking...
My guess is she's in jail now, if I had to guess.
Yeah, either that or, like... She looks like the kind of woman, and I don't want to cast aspersions here, but I bet Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue has an 8-ball story about her.
No doubt.
You know what I mean?
Doubt.
Like, the two of them just hooked up in a fucking shoe closet somewhere one time.
And she broke his dick off.
It just did an 8-ball.
She just ground the fuck out of him.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be able to have sex because they're all 8-balled up.
Oh, yeah.
You know? But, they were just looking at each other and go, I'll remember this and I'll have a particularly vicious wank later on.
Because vicious love is the only love she knows.
Oh yeah, that's like a Motley Crue lyric right there. But that's the weird thing. They just start dancing and dance to the end of the movie, right? And they've even though the guys were like, we don't want street dancers, they build an entire set themed around them street dancing.
and rewrote the music for the street dancers.
Oh yeah.
I think they just threw out whatever production they were actually casting for.
You know what? It was like that scene in the...
Menachem was writing this, and I'd say it was just like, well, we can't make that movie, let's make this fucking movie.
Yeah.
And he probably assumes that's how everyone does it.
It was like that scene in Watchmen where... like Dr. Manhattan's father throws out the watches. He goes, time is relative, watches are irrelevant, and throws out the watches. And these guys were like, I've never heard music like this before. Taste, time, fucking narrative form, it's all gone out the window. Build a street inside. Let's dance. Worlds within worlds, concepts within concepts. Rhythm is everything. String theory, alright? Like, that's all we are. We're just strings vibrating to our own rhythms in the grand scheme of the universe, man. And that's what this movie's about.
I think you're reading way too much into this here.
Maybe. What's wonderful though is that in true Canon fashion, they're money men.
Yeah.
They started promoting Breakin 2 before Breakin 1 is over.
Yes.
They were like, Breakin 2 is on its way. And it was on the way. It came out in 1984 as well.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, and look, we'll get to that.
Oh, dear God, we're going to get to that.
Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. But someday.
So, John, what was your overall impression of this film? What were your positives and negatives?
Well, there wasn't really any negatives to it. Because I'll be honest with you, the overall... thing about this movie is so fucking upbeat that I don't think it's possible to have a bad time while watching it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the thing is, while I was watching it, I was expecting quite like Cupcakes, the character we were talking about earlier on.
Yeah.
Was a homosexual young man.
Yeah.
Right?
And with
a massive dick.
Yeah, and blatantly so. As from the second he opens his mouth, you can tell he's gay.
Oh yeah. And the thing is, I was sitting there and I was there going, oh no, there's going to be a really horrible scene later on where they pick on him for being gay.
Yeah.
And it never comes.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's nice to him and accept him for who he is.
Yeah,
you know?
there's a serious theme of acceptance and
Yeah.
of
And all the
unity and everything.
racists, like, there is a bit of like subtle racism in it, but like in the real world, the real racists are really just kind of cowardly when confronted by people, and eventually have to just kind of admit that they're cool.
Yeah,
Like those two old women.
Yeah.
So I was expecting that, but it never came, and I never like the heel turn from James never came, and I don't know. I was just kind of. I was impressed with that. It was shocked me. The fact that I wasn't shocked was shocking.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I didn't mind that there was no resolution to the movie. There was a love triangle that went nowhere.
Yeah.
I can only assume that maybe Ozone takes Kelly out for a drink or something.
Maybe it's in Breakin' 2.
In Breakin' 2, yeah. Friend Zone. We're definitely going on the MRA.
Oh, yeah.
From my warm, sticky hands. Sorry. But I know what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
But shooting jizz instead of bullets. But it's weird. Like you were saying it was a musical, and I don't necessarily agree that it was one.
Yeah.
Because none of the characters sang to advance the plot.
I agree with you about the love triangle. This is like one of the most stunted love triangles I've ever seen, because one guy asks her out and she says no, and he's like, okay, fair enough. Then the other guy doesn't have the balls to ask her out, and I don't think she even notices that he's into her.
Yeah.
And it's the weirdest love triangle.
Yeah.
Because
both of them are jealous.
Yeah, and they're jealous of each other,
even though nobody's getting anywhere.
But they still get along.
Yeah.
And it's set up, and there's no resolution. There's no even progression from that.
It's bizarrely realistic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So, who'd have thought Breakin' was part of the Dogma 95 movement? But
fucking Breakin' is better than any movie from the Dogma 95 movie.
I love Turbo's character in the first half of this movie. Some of the dance scenes were phenomenal. The soundtrack is going on my drunk at 3 a.m. playlist. Oh, yeah. Shaki Khan especially, that is such a tune.
That's one thing we probably didn't talk about enough. Like, the music in this movie is fucking great.
It's this sort of early 80s electro pop rap, which is a fantastic genre of music, and it needs to come back.
Yeah, definitely.
It needs to come back. I would take that over Nicki Minaj any goddamn day of the week. It's so fucking good. And it's if I was to recommend this movie for anything in particular, I would recommend this for like a Sunday morning when you have an absolutely minging hangover.
Yeah.
When you can feel your hair grow and you can barely move, put this movie on. It's got some lovely tunes. It's got some great, it's got some nice dance scenes, and you'll feel happy at the end of it.
That's exactly it. It's a very positive film. I think it's impossible. I just like that was the thing that surprised me the most about this movie. How much I fucking loved it.
Yeah,
like,
it's a feel good 80s movie.
Yeah, and it delivered a couple of things. Maybe some of them maybe it didn't think it was going to deliver.
Yeah,
like I love a good bad acting scene.
Yeah,
and that one with Ozone goes on to the Hall of Fame, like the one where he's emoting on the beach.
that's up there with Pierce Brosnan and Taffin.
Oh god.
Oh
god. But
or they're eating me. They're eating her.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's up there.
It actually was a precursor to one of my favorite scenes in any film, which was Vanilla Ice in Ice Ice Baby, the movie. Or
Cool as Ice.
Cool as Ice, where he's there going, so what's it like having a family and stuff? But
oh god, yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's just a really fucking fun movie.
Yeah.
That like I wouldn't like. The weird thing is like it spawned a lot of imitators. And even to this day, like films that are still coming out with this trope of like
step up the streets and all that sort of stuff. It still happens.
The whole thing, and I don't like any of them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But I wouldn't like this if it was a new film.
Yeah,
the fact that it's an '80s film helps it.
Yeah,
because it's like a time capsule, and it's like
it is very much of its time.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fun. Like it's just a fun movie, and that's all it's really supposed to be. And that's the great thing about Canon.
Yeah,
like Canon make movies that just are supposed to fucking make you have a good time and like maybe not tax your brain too much.
Yeah,
But it's great. I think it's a fine entry into the canon.
It is so far. We've only done 2 so far, but this has knocked Invasion USA off the number 1 spot.
That's the thing I gotta admit as well. I mean, maybe we got a hand in our man cards. I much prefer this to Invasion USA.
I know. You know, we are this far away from drinking like macchiatos right now.
Yeah.
With our pinky fingers in the air, but this beats Chuck Norris. I've got to say it.
Sorry, man.
I'm sorry, Chuck, and you know I love you. I love you.
It was just a fun movie.
Yeah.
And it's a fine entry. Obviously, there are 2 sequels. Breakin 2, Electric Boogaloo, which we will get to. And
which is somewhat notorious.
Yeah. But I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy it.
I have a feeling I will as well, but from what I've been told about this film, I'm not getting my hopes up.
See, I haven't seen it now. That's the beauty of this show.
Nor have I. You know, so this could be interesting.
But there's rapping as well, and we'll definitely get to that too.
Oh, and I don't know if you're aware of this, they're making a Breakin 3.
Breakin 3, which will be a cinema visit for us.
And I don't know if Lucinda Dickey's coming back, but Ozone and Turbo, Michael Chambers and Adolfo Quinone, they're coming back.
Mm-hmm.
This is going, and that's going to be a cinema visit for me.
Oh man,
without doubt.
Can't wait.
Even if I have to travel, that's a cinema visit.
Oh look, it'll be in the eye.
Don't worry. No doubt. The question I have to ask you: has this sold you on breakdancing?
If I had seen it when I was 20, maybe.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm pushing 30 now, and I don't think...
yeah, my old hip might give way.
Well, look, man, I spent 5 years wrestling, like...
That's true. That's true.
Or close to it. And I got, like, my knees are metronomes. You know, I can't, you know...
Yeah.
Ironically enough, Kelly's Bar in Galway features quite a lot of breakdancers sometimes.
That's true, yeah.
But, yeah, I remember being drunk and stuff. We should probably talk about our next episode. We're gonna, like, just as a bit of business on the outside, we're gonna try and do this every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Keep it a fortnightly show. Friday nights, that'll be the thing.
Sounds like a plan.
And basically, Friday 2 weeks time, we're gonna have to take we're gonna take a bit of a turn here.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Canon made a lot of films. They made action films, they made comedies, they made romance movies and all this stuff. They also made a lot of sex pictures.
Yeah.
And we need to jump hands deep into this genre. So
we need to get sticky.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, have your tissues at the ready. Because in 2 weeks' time, we will be going all the way up in Bolero.
Oh, dear God, yes. Bo Derek in her prime.
And, you know, here, check the trailer out and see what you think of it.
Once in a while, a film dares to be different, dares to be daring, dares to be Bolero. Bo Derek is the adventurous young woman who leaves her world behind and sets out to lose her innocence.
Beautiful word, ecstasy.
A discovery in the meaning of desire.
It has to be warm and sultry and dark-eyed when you give your virginity away. I want it. Will you show me everything? Hey!
But she learns there are many sides to love.
You witch! Now I kill you. I have to kill you. Shut up. Don't do this to me.
The film that's created all the controversy. Bo Derek, Bolero. So daring, we can only show you where the ecstasy begins.
Okay, well, I hope that didn't interrupt your day when you're on the bus or something.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
NSFW.
Yeah, oh man, you're just like, even the audio of that, like, you know.
Yeah.
A Bo Derek trailer can talk the pulp off. You know what I mean? And
they usually charge like €2 a minute for that kind of talk.
Oh man, it's a happening.
It is gonna be a happening.
But yeah, we're gonna come back in 2 weeks' time with with Bolero, and we hope you'll join us for that. We hope you enjoyed this episode with of us discussing Breakin,
where we lost our masculinity.
Oh yeah, and you know what? It's fucking fine where it is.
Too long didn't listen version, Cupcake Stick, Fancy Lance, Lucinda's arse.